Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the fourth and final episode in my whole house decluttering series. This is not exactly how I planned all of this to go. I planned to go through my house like each room individually and just very thoroughly. However, we are moving to Arizona in just a matter of weeks. So we really have to kick it into gear, get rid of anything that we do not want to take with us to Arizona, and then make sure that we start getting packed up. So today we are focusing on decluttering. We already did a massive declutter on our kitchen, also our hall closet. That was a wreck, but it turned out amazing. I also went through all three of our bathrooms and decluttered in there. And today we are going through literally everything else. We are going to be decluttering the whole house, and I'm going to be focusing on certain areas that are our problem areas. So one, we are going to be in my office, which is where I am right now, and we are going to be specifically working on the closet in my office, which is my decor closet. That is where I store a lot of the decor that I use for my makeover videos, so I need to tackle that and just declutter anything I don't want to take. I'm also going to be going into our guest room closet and decluttering anything in there, which is really just anything left over from when our boys shared that bedroom. And then we are going to go into mine and Kyle's room and just declutter all of our drawers and all of our clothes and things like that in our dressers. And then finally, we are moving down to the basement and we are going to declutter everything down there. We are going through toys, we are going through just all the things that we have in the basement. So we have a lot to get done today, but it is going to feel so good once we are done, and it's something that just has to happen. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. I wanna hear you say that you only want me. So as you can see, before pulling everything out of the closet, I just wanted to get the guest room kind of tidied up because decluttering can be a very like messy and just overwhelming process. And so I wanted to make sure that I was starting with a clean slate in there. And the box that I went ahead and put together is actually the box that I'm going to be using for all of our donations. I have started to do this because I used to always use just regular laundry baskets, but then that would end up taking up one of our laundry baskets while I was waiting to take it to donate. So I started just using moving boxes to declutter everything, and it's ended up working out really great. So here I'm just pulling everything out of the closet and kind of going through it on the bed, and I'm also going through a bunch of the boys' old clothes that I had stored back when this was their own bedroom. And in a minute you'll see me go through the clothing with our boys, and I'm just taking everything and kind of holding it up to them to make sure that it'll fit them, and then anything that does fit will go down to their bedrooms to get packed up to move, and anything that doesn't will either get donated or sent to one of my sisters that has little boys as well.
Everything goes wrong, I'm trying to find a way to get you out my head. Don't know how to cope with being so broken. Girl, I can't forget about what we said. I just wanna love you a little bit more. Don't just walk away from me and close the door. Baby, pull me closer now before it's over. I just wanna love you a little bit more. Oh, I know that it's difficult dealing with emotions, but I want you to know Yeah, you'll always be on my mind, even in the hard times. I care about you. How do you move on when everything goes wrong? I'm trying to find a way to get you out my head. Don't know how to cope with being so broken. Girl, I can't forget about what we said. I just wanna.
This closet in here, like I said, this was kind of how it was when our boys stayed in this bedroom about a year ago. And then ever since we moved them down to the basement, this closet has kind of stayed a little bit like their old closet, but it's also just been the place that everything goes that I don't know where to put it. It's kind of like my junk closet almost, and it also does have some really good things in it. So I have been definitely dreading going through this space, and I think moving has been the big push that I've really needed to actually enter into this room and just know it's going to be kind of a rough thing to go through everything, but in the end it ended up feeling so good. And you'll see in a minute, but I got rid of so many things, and then I actually was able to like make more use out of some things, like some of the boys' old clothes that was able to get passed down to their brothers or some of our cousins, and it just was such a good thing. So if you have a room or a closet or a drawer or a space like this that you just have been dreading going through, I would urge you to take a little bit of time and just go through it, and I promise it will end up feeling so much better, and it will absolutely be worth your time. Room 1 is done. There wasn't really much that I'm going to declutter, I don't think, from the actual guest room. We might like not take like chairs or, you know, like certain furniture pieces, but that's all stuff that we'll do when we go to pack. But the closet is done. We're really not keeping a whole lot from here. So I'll turn you around and kind of show you the different piles I have, because of course I have piles of things kind of all over, and I'll show you what all the piles are about. Okay, so when you walk in the closet, this is just like actually some extra Christmas stuff, and mostly I'm trying to keep it in here because these are from my mother-in-law and sister-in-law. They lathed these, They made these out of like a whole piece of wood. It's just so cool, and there's one for each of us in the family. So I definitely want to keep those, and I want to keep them safe. Then these are just like special items. These are just like different clothing for the boys over the years. This is so sad and tiny. It's Liam's boot from when he broke his foot when he was almost 2 years old. It was like the saddest thing. So I just cannot part with that. I don't know why. It's just like super sentimental. So we're keeping that. This is from when we went to Disney one time when Luke was little. This was one of his sweet pictures. My brother is a professional photographer, and he took that picture when we were visiting family in Arizona one year. And that's when Luke was like 4 months old. I'm sure the other boys' stuff is like down, probably more organized in my closet. And then these are just like some yearbooks and special things. All right, and then this is something we are going to donate, both of these items. And then these 2 bins are things that I have to go through with the boys downstairs. I've gone through some of like the church clothes, but we need to go through like the other pants and see which ones we're going to keep, because we're not going to keep all of them. And then this is everything that we are donating from this closet. So now let's move on to my decor closet, which I think I'm kind of dreading the most just because there's so much stuff in there. But once I get it all cleared out, it will feel so nice to only have the things that I really actually grab for whenever I do like home makeovers.
Forgot that feeling, the sun in my face, it's so well needed. Life will take care of the rest. Biking alone in the sunset, through the canal, so the mindset I needed, yeah, I needed. Oh, let's freeze time, gather around, watch the sun go down. Oh, in summertime, soaking up the sun.
So my decor closet is definitely something that I really do need to kind of work on going through a little bit more often. I really just kind of like accumulate all of these things because either I will decorate our house in a different way and I will kind of put our old decor into that closet, or when I do a makeover and I don't use everything, then I will just put it back into the closet and kind of save it for another one. We are really fortunate that we do have this extra space in our home right now that we're able to kind of store a lot of this stuff, and it really does come in handy when we do go to do those makeovers that you guys see on my channel. It does make a huge difference just kind of already having a lot of those things that I don't have to go out and spend money on and buy new things, especially not buying them at full price. But it does come at a cost, and the cost that we are paying here is that it's really hard to get to anything. It's really hard to find anything I'm looking for, and I end up storing a lot of things that I just don't think I'm going to use anymore. And so I'm still going to be keeping a lot of things because we do have a lot of makeovers coming up. You guys love those, and I love being able to do them for my friends and family, and hopefully in the future we can do it for some of you guys as well. I think that would be so cool. But at this time we are going to be keeping a lot of things, but at the same time I'm going to be donating a lot of things, and hopefully someone else can get a lot of use out of the makeover items that I am just not going to be using.
Tell me it's all in my head. Don't say it's all in my head. Tell me it's all in my head. Don't say it's all in my head. I got a renegade soul. Your disposition is stone cold. Oh, no. What'd it take to let you go? I got a war in my head. You come like a train running through it. Been keeping all my aces close, but I wanna know where you go. Think we're in retrograde, 'cause we're never on the same page. Just gonna walk away. What'd it take to get you to stay? 'Cause you got me falling again. Coming in my hardest place. Don't tell me it's all in my head, 'cause this could be something amazing.
All right, we have the closet basically like it's all gone through. So I do have some things that I've left in here, like I have different signs. I have like some smaller signs in there. These are just like some special items. I do have a couple wreaths up there, and these are like my stands, different blankets I have, and some plant stuff. This whole section is all getting rid of. We are donating all of this. And then this is the other stuff that we're keeping. I know it looks like a lot. It's like all the stuff on the floor. Really, it's like mostly pillow forms because I'm always using those, whether it's on our couches or bringing them to different makeovers. So that's mostly what all that is. But I'm gonna bring everything back into the closet and get it all organized.
And if we don't get it right, we'll fall back into orbit tonight. So tell me it's all in my head. Don't say it's all in my head. Tell me it's all in my head. Don't say it's all in my head. Tell me it's all in my head. Don't say it's all in my head. We tend to stay close to the light, but there ain't no star shining tonight. Never been good at goodbye, so I'll stay here till the sunlight. I got a war in my head. What does it mean if you're fighting from both sides? Pulling and pushing away, still betting that you're gonna stay. Think we're in retrograde, 'cause we're never on the same page. Just gonna walk away. We'll fall together someday. 'Cause you got me falling again. Coming in my hardest place. Don't tell me it's all in my head. 'Cause this
All right, I am outside because we recently got back from our most recent makeover series. So some of the decor stuff is still in the camper, just things that I brought and didn't use. So I'm actually gonna go into the camper and kind of see what we have and then see if there's a lot that I want to get rid of or what I want to bring back inside, and then we can end up packing it up in like a week or so.
Every night I'm going on the grid, texting back, I want you, hit you up, I'm on the other side, I miss you, take you off, I came here way too strong, cannot keep it low key, got me drugged, your pheromones hit the roof, auto, your taste, it's really a bad reception out there, where you heading, why in gravity pulling you in closer.
Alright, in the camper there was not a lot that we're going to declutter because I brought like a lot of my favorite things and we didn't end up using them. So we have this plant here, and then I have 2 bins of things that we're keeping, a few pillow forms, and then a lot of spray paint over there. And then this is what I am going to declutter, just things, oh wait, not, yeah, yep, everything in here is decluttering. And then this is actually stuff that I purchased for the makeover, and I'm going to return it because I just like bought it specifically for this makeover and didn't end up using them. So those things are going to go back to the store, and then everything else will just get decluttered.
But I need you, and you're off my radar now. I've lost you. Telling you that I need you, but you're off my radar now.
Alright, do you guys see all that glistening on my face? That is work, but it's all good. So I have not the poof right there, but these things, and this bin needs to get put into the closet, which I know sounds a little bit counterintuitive because we're just gonna be packing it up, but I do want to pack things in like a certain order just so that when we get there, things aren't all over the place and like hard to unpack. So I'm going to be putting every single decor piece that is not being used back into this closet. And then when I go to pack in like a week or so, I am going to be able to just put everything into a box, or, you know, a few boxes, whatever. I can make sure to pack it right. And then once we get to the new house in Arizona, we will just know exactly where to unload everything. So let's get back to work in this closet, and then I think we're going to move back into, or down into my bedroom.
Between the lines, underneath your bed sheets, it started fun, but now I'm into deep into this flow. A zero-sum game that I will lose. There's no zipping past it. Every time you walk away from me, I want you. How could I want you more? Or when did I lose my perspective? Oh God, have I lost it? But my cravings for you so shameless, can't get enough. I've lost you, but I need you, and you're off my radar now. I've lost you, telling you that I need you, but you're off my radar now. I'm like an outcast from pillar to post. There's no denial, I'm chasing ghosts. I'm like an outcast from pillar to post, hitting you up, but I'm stuck on hold.
All right, finally we are done with upstairs. Those 2 closets were just so overwhelming for me to like get my head around having to go through them, but like now that they're done, it does feel so much better. So we are in my bedroom. Nothing's been done in here today, but we are going to do a very, very, very quick tidy, and then we are going to start opening up all the drawers. I never do this, I hate doing this. And we are going to start decluttering everything and just making sure that every single thing in our drawers are things that we actually use and want and need. So let's get to it.
Reception out there, where you heading? Why ain't gravity pulling you in closer to me? Yeah, I lost you, but I need you, and you're off my radar now. I lost you, yeah, I lost you, telling you that I need you, but you're off my radar now. I've lost you,
So I have been feeling super emotional. If you guys follow me over on Instagram or Facebook, you guys know that I've just been like very, very emotional the last week or so, like surrounding our move. We are 100% so incredibly excited and thankful that we are getting this opportunity to go move to Arizona. We've shared that I have a few sisters that still live in Arizona. I also spent basically all of my summers there growing up, and it's just a place that I always wanted to live. And I'm really grateful that Kyle is excited to move there as well, and our boys are beyond excited. However, when we first moved to this home, we totally thought this was going to be our forever home. We never thought we were going to move again, and I just don't really know if we have a forever home at this point. Like a lot of you guys may know, Kyle was in the Air Force for a long time. Like every couple of years, we would just move to a new state, and we actually are so grateful for all of those experiences that we had. Just be able to experience different things and things that we normally would never have been able to experience. So that was just such a cool blessing, and we're so thankful that we're able to kind of go ahead and do that again, moving to Arizona. But with that being said, we are going to be missing our home so much. This has just been such a blessing of a home for us. We've added so much to this house, and we've had so many memories here. And so it's definitely just like a very, very bittersweet thing. And so as I film and edit these videos, it just does kind of make me feel very nostalgic and like kind of sad about leaving this chapter and kind of closing this chapter and moving on to something else. Like I said, I'm so grateful for it, but I'm also just very, very emotional about it all. All right, everything is nice and clean. Now we are gonna start going through all of the drawers. Like I said, this is something that I rarely do. I really need to get in the better habit of doing it more often, but we are going to go through all of our nightstand drawers. And then also, this is kind of like my dresser mostly, and then this one is pretty much Kyle's. So we are gonna go through all of that and get everything nice and decluttered and make sure we are just being more intentional with what we are keeping. All right, I am gonna have to pause for a minute because it is later in the day, let's just say that, and I need to figure out what we are doing for dinner. So we are gonna go do that, and I'm probably gonna come back. I'm sure I will have lost light by the time I get back, but we are going to get this done today. I am motivated. We are gonna get this done. I have everything like all set up in here. I have my box ready, and we are ready to declutter, but I have to feed the family, so we'll be back. All right, so I had to pause for a few because we had to go get dinner taken care of. We are ready to tackle all the drawers. This is kind of a big project because I just don't go through them enough, but it's gonna be so worth it. So let's do this. So tackling my drawers was one of the things that I really wanted to make sure that I got done before we moved out of our home, which we do have about a week or so until our moving truck gets here, and we are going to be all packed up by that point. But one thing that I did not want to do was pack up everything and then move into our new home and then just have to go ahead and get rid of things then. I did not want to spend the time or the money or the effort packing everything up if it wasn't something that we wanted to take, and I thought this was a perfect time to go ahead and go through everything. So whether you're moving or you're not, it's always just a good thing to make sure that you're going through your things. And by doing that, you will not only relieve a lot of stress in your life, but you'll also end up giving yourself back a lot of that space. So I'm really excited to kind of start new when we go to our new home, and we will have everything in our drawers that we want and everything that we need and nothing else. So I'm just really happy with how everything turned out in here. And I'm really thankful that I was able to not only share this with you guys, but also kind of use that as motivation to make sure that I'm getting it done, because time can definitely get away from us and then things like this just don't happen. So if you have an area like this that you have been putting off, let me know in the comments what it is. I can be your accountability buddy and we can just kind of do all of this decluttering together. Before I decluttered on this day, I had so many times where I tried to close my side table drawers and they wouldn't even close because they were so packed full. So this was definitely one thing that I have really appreciated having decluttered. It's just made a huge difference. All right, it is the next day and we are down in our basement. Of course, you guys, I don't know if you ever see our basement like nicely cleaned unless if we've just cleaned it, but usually kind of this is how it looks, just a bit of a mess down here, but we are going to do a quick family pickup. Kyle is actually running some errands, some moving errands, and so he is out doing that, but I'm gonna grab the kids and just have them help me kind of tidy this up. Mostly we are going to be focusing on decluttering the things in these bins, also their toys that are always spilling out. Luke doesn't really have a lot of toys in his room, but Liam and Noah do. Another big thing is our games. Right there they are. You can't even see in the camera. Anyway, we are going to be decluttering the games because not necessarily decluttering them, but more reorganizing them. I'd actually shared, I'd asked you guys a while back if you guys had any ideas on like ways to store games, and a lot of you guys sent me this certain link, and so I'm going to be using those products that you guys had recommended to me to organize our games, and I'm really excited for that. So we do have a little bit more ahead of us today, kind of a lot, but I'm trying to like just keep myself positive and not get overwhelmed with it. So we are going to go ahead and jump on into it and get everything decluttered and only keep what we use and what we need. So let's do this. All right, we have the main living area down here all clean, nice vacuum lines. But as you can see, this is kind of like what we deal with a lot. We had just emptied the bin from upstairs, our toy bin from upstairs, down here. So this is like all the toys that we have, plus Liam and Noah have toys in the room. Luke does not have so many toys in his room, but we are going to first kind of go through this and then go through each of their rooms as well. I am actually going to go through this on my own, mostly because Liam and Noah actually went to our neighbor's house to play for a little bit, but also I really do know for the most part what they play with, and so I am just going to put everything in a box and then they can actually go through it with me and decide if there's anything that like they really do want to keep. But I will kind of share while I'm sorting through this a few of my tips just to help like get kids be okay with donating things and just getting rid of things and decluttering. So I do have a lot of tips for that, so let's go ahead and get to decluttering. Alright, so far I have this bin that I think is get rid of because they're just things that the kids don't ever play with. These are things that they do play with. They have like a lot of Hot Wheels cars in here. We have like some Nerf guns, just like Legos, little things like that. This is basically a lot of broken toys, like broken little pieces and little scraps, because the nice thing about having a toy bin down here means my kids can clean up a lot of their mess. The downside is not everything that makes it in there is actually a toy. So you kind of pick your battles. That's just how it goes. And then down here, this is honestly like a majority of what Noah plays with, which is dress-up costumes. So he has like ninja dress-up costumes, different superheroes, lots of Star Wars stuff, firefighter, whatever. He has lots of that stuff. So I'm actually just separating that, and I'm going to end up seeing if I can find like a special bin just for that, so he doesn't have to dig out all of the rest of the toys just to find the costume he's looking for, because that happens on a daily basis. So now that we have that kind of sorted out, I'm going to start moving into each of their rooms.
Feel like running away, but I'm staying. I need your
So a few things that I always hear from you guys surrounding declutter is asking how to get your kids to be okay with decluttering things. A lot of you have said that your kids will not let go of things, or it's just kind of like really hard to. And I feel like there are a few different things that I can say about this. One thing is I have always gone through our kids' toys and clothes and things like that with them. They've always been a part of it. And so they are fairly used to decluttering things, but that does not always mean they are so great at it. That doesn't always mean they're not attached to things and they don't want to get rid of things, even if I know it's something that they never really use and play with. So one thing that has helped us a lot is actually talking to our boys and kind of explaining the process of like how when we do have something, if we don't use it, it still is going to take a lot of time for us to clean it up and sort it out and everything like that. And so kind of explaining that if we are able to declutter something, that means we no longer have to take care of the item, and we all of a sudden will have more time to enjoy each other's company, go to the park, just kind of have free time. And I think them knowing that actually makes a big difference. And then another thing that really helps encourage them to get rid of things that they don't use and play with is we will often go through some of their toys, and then I will tell them that they are able to either donate them or they can sell them to a local consignment shop that we have here. And when we get the money from the consignment shop, they are actually able to keep that money themselves. So then they can go ahead and buy whatever they would like with that money, but they are still decluttering things and getting rid of anything that they don't use. So those are a few different things to kind of keep in mind and try out with your own kids if that is something that you guys struggle with. This is seriously what happens whenever you declutter toys for kids. They're like less overwhelmed, I think, and they end up playing so much more often. So it's probably been about 30 minutes since I decluttered Liam's room with him, and I'm going to show you what he's doing.
Eye to eye, there is a new song. Both the ceiling and the floor disappearing back and forth, nothing to stand on. Oh, I don't want you to go, don't, but I don't want half your heart.
All right, we are just about done. The only thing I have left is all of the games. So I do have these bags that I ordered. I don't think I have enough for all the games that we have, but we're gonna kind of do this as like a trial. A lot of the boxes are actually falling apart, so I figured this is like the perfect opportunity to try something new out. I'm going to transfer them into here, and I think I'm actually gonna use my Cricut to make some labels just to label the bags. I feel like that would look nice. Let's go ahead and just kind of like figure out which boxes are in dire need of a new housing situation, and then we'll switch them over, and then I will go ahead and pull my Cricut out.
Try to be so even keel, but I don't know how to feel when you're gone so long. But I don't want you to go, don't, but I don't want half your heart. If you love me, then just say so. Don't keep me in the dark. Don't keep me in the dark. Holding on for your love, don't waste my time. Got me walking on water.
All right, I got all of them done. I still have a few left because I didn't order enough bags, but I think this will be good. I pretty much did all the ones that had where like the boxes were actually falling apart or we were always losing pieces, because some of them like come with a hole in the box so you can peek through into the box, which I think is a terrible functional idea or non-functional idea to sell a game with a hole in it. Now I was going to actually grab my Cricut and maybe make a name for it, but I ended up just taking like the front pieces of the bag or the boxes off. It's really easy to see exactly what game it is because I just took the fronts of the boxes off that way. So now I'm just going to stack them all back into the box and I think we are going to be finished. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was definitely something that I have been wanting to do for this entire year, is just finish decluttering my home. Now I definitely wish I could have been a little bit more thorough, but I'm not upset about it. We got a ton decluttered and a ton donated, and now that means we are able to move without having to take that stuff with us. So I'm definitely gonna call that a win. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got tons of motivation from it. Don't forget to subscribe down below if you are not already, and also make sure you have your notification bell on because I am going to be sharing lots more videos like packing videos, moving videos, and of course new house videos when we move into our new Arizona home. So I have a ton more to share with you guys, not only here but also over on my vlog channel. I hope you guys have the most wonderful day and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.